Moving on to our final color. We got green. Green commons here. And we have Bamboo Grove Archer. 2 mana, 3/3 reach, enchantment creature defender. Snake Archer. You can channel 5 mana, destroy target creature with flying. This card seems amazing for sealed. It's great on turn 2. It's going to be great on turn 5 or more. It's an enchantment creature. It's going to chill, and it's going to be around for you to trigger your 4 mana 3/4 draw card. This card seems great. This card just seems, and it's such a good blocker on turn 2 for all the ninja stuff. It even has reach, so your opponent can't fly past you. This card seems amazing to me. Bearer of Memory, 3 mana, enchantment creature, 3 mana, 3/2. 6 mana, put a counter on target enchantment creature against trample. Yeah? This card doesn't seem very good. Probably not going to play this one. I guess you can pay 12 mana and put 2 counters on something, I guess. Enchant artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it has +1/+3 and reach, and tap to add 2 green. And channel 1 and a green, discard Careful Cultivation, create a 1/1 green human monk creature token with tap add a green. So it's a flash Lawnmower Elf for 2 mana. I don't think you're really going to be using the upper portion very much. This card does not seem very good to me. I don't think you're really ever going to enchant a permanent with this. It's just a 2-cost Lawnmower Elf, which is not that good. 2-cost 1/1 flash Lawnmower Elf is whatever. I typically don't like 1/1 like elves for seal, just because the games are going to last forever. You're going to, and you don't, it's not really about being very fast. And at the end of the day, this is just going to be a 1/1. Both the 1/1 and the 1/3, +1/+3 and reach are both not very good cards. Ninjutsu, 1 and a green, Ninjutsu 2. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a counter on target creature you control that doesn't have a counter on it. This card seems really good. Doesn't this card seem really good? It's a cheap Ninjutsu, too. And it's a great card you can just play on turn 2. This card seems really good. I mean, for a Goblin Piker, this seems pretty good. It doesn't say unmodified. It just says a creature without a counter on it. So you can still target a modified creature with this, assuming it has like an equipment or an aura on it. Commune with the Spirits. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an enchantment or land card from among them and put it into your hand. Weirdly enough, you're communing with spirits, but you can't find a spirit card with this. No. We don't do that here. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. This card seems pretty bad. How could you commune to spirits and not get spirits off it? Come on. Exile all target artifact or enchantment. Yeah, this card seems main deckable. This is a reprint. That seems main deckable to me. Probably not against blue-black. They don't have, maybe there's not enough targets in blue-black, but maybe it's not main deckable. I mean, a lot of the enchantment creatures are just garbage, right? Like, I don't want to hit this. I don't want to hit this thing. I don't want to hit this thing, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just a 5. It's a filler card. 1/1 Death Touch. If it wasn't an enchantment creature, I wouldn't even consider this. This seems like a filler card, though. It hits Sagas. The thing is with Sagas is that they've already done their thing when you go kill them. Flavor of Jukai. Or Favor of Jukai, not Flavor of Jukai. Enchant artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +3/+3 and has reach. Channel +3/+3. This is not good. Wow. This is really not good. This is so much worse. This is so much worse than both Iron Hoof Boar and Gift of Wrath. It's just, yeah, it's terrible. It seems like this is trying to be a giant growth for 2 mana that you sometimes enchant a creature with instead. I don't think I want anything to do with it. The 1/1 Death Touch is really good for ninjas, I guess. Nobody wants to block this idiot. That's fair. Geothermal Kami. When enters the battlefield, you may return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand. If you do, you gain 3 life. We can return our Spirited Companion? We can return our Twisted Embrace? You can return our Saga, I guess. Yeah, and it's also a 4-mana 4/3, right? 2 and a green enchant land. Whenever Grafted Growth enters the battlefield, put a counter on target creature or vehicle. Oh, you can return Geothermal Kami can return Grafted Growth. And it taps to add 2 mana. This is mostly a reprint. And it was really good before. It's going to be really good now, because it also makes a modified creature, right? Yeah, you can return your Archer for Channel. You're right. You can return this Archer to Channel for your Kami if you wanted. Yeah. Yeah, this is really good to cast your quad color spells, because it adds 2 mana of any color for sure. This is probably closer to a 6. Back in Kaldheim, I sometimes didn't play these, so it might be closer to a 5 than a 6. But 6 mana, 6/5 trample, 2 and a green, discard this, search it all the way for a basic land card, and put it onto the battlefield tapped. Unfortunately, this is not Shefat Monitor, but it does have trample. It's a large dog. I think you're just probably always going to play this card. Greater Tanuki Agenda, yeah. Imagine just slapping people with a Greater Tanuki. It gets any basic. Yeah, bad Crimson Tusker, bad Shefat Monitor, but you gotta play with what you have, right? So, not Glittering Frost. You're right. Not Glittering Frost. The one before that, was it Zendikar? Not Zendikar. Ixalan. Was it Ixalan that was in? What was the name? It was. It was New Horizons. Yeah, it was called New Horizons. And this is a card I sometimes didn't play. There was also Grafted Growth, which it's an actual reprint of that card. I don't know what set that's from. Oh, that literally is this card. Okay. I forgot Neo was on MTGO now. Alright, Harmonious Emergence. 4 mana, enchant land. No! This is like... No! I'm not even going to read it. I don't want anything to do with it. Stop trying to make this Stop trying to make this happen. It's not going to happen. The only time this was ever playable was what? The enchant... I remember the black one being good. Was it this one? I remember playing this one, but it was just in that set. And you wanted to enchant like spell lands to return the spell lands to your hand. Let's make Heir of the Ancient Fang. 3 mana 2/3 enters the battlefield with a counter on it if you control a modified creature. Oh, so it's like a 3 mana 3/4 if you have a modified creature. Otherwise, it's a 2/3. Yeah. This doesn't seem that good to me. It's got a good stat line. This is like total filler. This is totally filler. Jukai Preserver. Whenever it enters the battlefield, put a counter on target creature you control. 4 mana 4/4. Okay. Channel. Put a counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. Hey. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Alright. You have my attention. This card is great. This card is great. It's also an enchantment. Yeah, it's also a modified. Yeah, it's better than a 4 mana 4/4, but it's modified. Hey. I'm on board. We found a good card. Oh, yeah, with this. With Geothermal Kami. Yeah, the Kami seems really good so far. There's tons of enchantments to return. Jukai Trainee. Whenever it blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until the turn. Oh, has Bushido 1? It's a green samurai with Bushido 1? Alright. Doesn't seem great. I guess it like can get through ninjas, I guess. Yeah, it's not a frog. If it was a frog, it'd be better card. you're wondering what I'm talking about. It's not frog-like enough to have like Jade Avenger is. Strictly worse. Being a human sucks. This seems like filler. Master's Rebuke. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. Okay, does this Fall the Hammer? A classic. This is just a classic. 7 or 6. I mean, you can just not play this card. It's not terrible to not play this card. Like, if you don't have creatures with power like 4 or more, you know, this isn't that good. Obviously, it allows your 1/1 Death Touch to kill anything. I know. Just seems like whatever. Choose one or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. This card seems amazing. Wow, this card's amazing. This is just Wander in Depth. Isn't it? Isn't this card great? I mean, you can... You know what you can do is... Oh, they thought about that. Enchant artifact or creature you control. So you can't just put this on your opponent's creature and have it kill itself. I didn't think about this with Twisted Embrace. You actually can't cast this unless you have a creature in play. I didn't even think about that. This is actually a 7. I actually did not know that you can't even cast this if you don't have an artifact or creature in play. That makes this a lot worse. So if your opponent has like an unsummon, then you can just never use this, right? Hey, this card's like not very good, maybe. Huh. But yeah, you can like return your Grove Archer if it dies earlier to like get a plummet out of it later. I like it. Is this it's target creature you control. Why you gotta ruin my dreams? Alright, 5 mana, put a counter on target creature or vehicle you control, it gains vigilance. This is terrible. Alright, if the backside does not have haste. Okay, it has haste. Okay. Maybe? Do you think it's weird that half the enchantment creatures have haste and half of them don't? Do you think that's weird? I like that it gives vigilance. That's cool. The 5/5 suspend 2, but it could be like a 7/7 suspend 2 with like has a bunch of stat points attached to it. I like this card. It's just so massive. This may be like what you need for green-black ninjas. It's a finisher that lets you attack on the 2 turns on turn 5 and turn 6 because all you have are garbage ninjas in play. You think it's a 3. Alright. And moving on. Tamiya's Safekeeping. I hate Ranger's Guile type effects, and this is the worst they printed. So. They were comparing this to Dormant Grove. Yeah, isn't this just Dormant Grove? Yeah, Dormant Grove is insane. What's wrong with this fellow? This protects any permanent you control? I don't care. How many cards? I'll lose this all the time. I'll never play it. It's whatever. I like green commons so far. The Geothermal commons. I love Bamboo Grove Archer for sealed. This is exactly the type of 2-drop I want. Overstated. Has a lot of versatility late game. And it's an enchantment card type. It's also 3 power for your Master's Rebuke. Seems quite good. And it has the Season of Renewal, which will give you the card advantage you need for later. The Greater Tanuki might be important with Season of Renewal, because it's an enchantment creature in your graveyard, right? Also get you your land, so you can cast Season and a spell on your same turn. And I think this card is going to be super important. This is like the premier finisher in the format, I'm guessing. This is like the biggest creature. This is the biggest creature in the format. It seems that way. And it seems like green has many ways to make modified cards. Between Coiling Stalker and Tales of Seshiro and the Jukai Preserver and the Enchant Land that puts a counter on something, Grafted Growth. So it's super easy to make a modified creature in green. So if anything, that keys off that. Moving on to uncommons. All right. Starting with uncommons and rares. For green, we have Azusa's Many Journeys. So 2 mana, you may play additional land this turn. Cool. Gain 3 life. Cool. This thing better draw a card on the backside or I don't want anything to do with it. Whenever likeness of this... It's a 2 mana 3/3. Whenever it doesn't have haste. And whenever it becomes blocked, untap up to 3 lands you control. See, the weird thing here is... So the trigger goes on the stack during the declare blocker step. So you can ninjutsu a lot with your other creatures, right? So if you have like 5 lands in play, you have 8 mana to ninjutsu with. If you have other attacking creatures that are unblocked. Also, you can like float mana if you have 5 lands, so like cast an 8-cost instant if one exists. I don't think one does. But this is the opposite of slow, Marty, because it gives you a land, right? And by the way, incidental life gain. There's so much incidental life gain in this set, it's crazy. You can also just not block, sure. But then you get like a 2 mana 3/3 you can attack with in turn 5. That gains 3 life, I guess. I don't know. This card seems medium. Complete filler. The part 1 of this thing will probably only matter like maybe half the time. You're just not gonna have lands put into play. Blossom Prancer. 5 mana 4/4 reach. Whenever it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or enchantment card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. If you didn't put a card into your hand this way, draw a card, gain 4 life. Okay, so it's a 5 mana 4/4 reach, draw a card, or gain 4. This card seems great. And it's your option. Even if you have a creature or enchantment and you just want to gain 4 life, you can just choose not to reveal anything. This card's great. Yeah. Yeah. Green Mold Shifter. Sure. It also has reach, so prepare to lose to that. Target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the greatest mana value among... What? And, oh, wait. Oh. I didn't even get to this part. Untap it. Just in case you were already just blown away. Just in case. By the way. Also untap it. Alright, so this is 2 mana +4/+4 or +6/+6, right? I mean, isn't this card, like, really good? This is... Yeah. And the thing is, there's so many lifelink creatures. Oh, by the way, what is your life total? And your opponent's asking you and they're green-black? And you're like, 11. Why? They're like, attack. I'm like, alright, no blocks. Bonk! 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 What are you at? Dead. Thanks. Appreciate it. This is Higetsu's second right. That's what this is, the actual explosive singularity. It's a green 2 mana instant. Alright. Yeah, this card's good. By the way, untap it. Just, you know. By the way, if you were just into that, you could also just +2/+2 untap and kill a creature. You know, if that was just your thing that you wanted to do. I mean, I don't know if you're really into that. Alright. Yeah, if you wanted to kill your creature instead of your opponent. Bosaiju reaches skyward. 4 mana, search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards, reveal them and put them into your hand. Okay. 4 mana, draw 2. Put up to 1 target land from your graveyard on top of your library. Now, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to put a land from your graveyard? Why would I put a land from my graveyard on top of my deck? Now, why would I want to do that? Chapter 2, nothing. Chapter 2, sabotage myself. Yeah. Chapter 2, plow myself. Like, okay, alright. Wait. Why would I want to do chapter 2? Wait. Why? Why is that there? And why do we have like pixel art for the chapter 3? I don't know. Put a land from your graveyard. Why would I do that? Whatever. It's a 4-mana 7/7. Deal with it. It's a 4-mana 7/7 that draws 2 lands. Just play your damn card and like it. They did. By the way, Evolving Wilds is not in the set, so you can't get that. Yeah, why can't I put a land on top of my opponent's deck? Generous Visitor, 1 mana, 1/1 spirit. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a counter on target creature. Isn't this a 1 mana 4/4? I feel like this is a 1 mana 4/4. Wait, it doesn't even put it on itself. It puts it on any creature. Wait. Okay. Why isn't this? This feels like a rare. This feels like a 9 to me. It's like an 8 or a 9, right? The thing is, green has a ton of enchantments, and it has like grafted growth, and it has the geothermal Kami, and it has Season of Renewal, which can get back 2 enchantment creatures. All right. Okay. It's also 1-drop, so you can just like play it on turn 1 and then just like attack and get a ninja to play turn 2. The only thing it doesn't work with is it doesn't work with this. Like if you ninjutsu an enchantment creature into play, it doesn't trigger the ability. Because you have to actually cast them. But it's not coming to play, it's cast. So wow, that card is good. It's almost a 9. Do you think it's a 9? It might just be a 9. It pays rent. It's cheap. The opportunity cost is so low. It's almost a 9. It just requires you to have like 8 or 9 enchantments in your deck, so I don't know. If you don't have the enchantments, it doesn't do much. But how do you not have the enchantments if you're playing green? Doesn't seem possible. Yeah, it is a bad top deck a lot of the time. But you can probably play this and an enchantment that's in your hand on the same turn. So it's like a 1 mana 2/2. Better than that. Go Shintai of Boundless Vigor. 2 mana 1/1 trample. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1. If you do, put a counter on target shrine for each shrine you control. So it's like a 3 mana 2/2 trample that gets bigger every turn. No, it only targets itself. Well, I mean, target shrine, but I mean, if you have 2 shrines, obviously it's great. But even if you have no other shrines, do you play this? I think you do. I think you do. But if you don't play it, I wouldn't blame you. A 3 mana 2/2 trample is not great. Historian's Wisdom. Enchant artifact or creature. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if enchanted permanent is a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield, draw a card. +2/+1. Alright. I guess. I mean, you go like 2/2 and you put this on the 2/2, you draw a card. I guess. But the thing is, if you don't have it, then this card is just so bad. I don't know. This seems suspicious. This seems pretty suspicious. Kappa Tech Wrecker. 2 mana 1/3, ninjutsu 2. When enters the battlefield, the Death Touch counter on it. 2 mana 1/3 Death Touch. I'm on board. We have a Ninja Turtle here? Oh, no. Unfortunately, we don't have a Ninja Turtle here. We have a Turtle Ninja. Alright. To be clear, whenever Kappa Tech Record deals combat damage to a player, you may remove a Death Touch counter from it. If you do, exile to artifact or enchantment. This card seems great. You're just always going to play it. Just a value card. I mean, it's not as good as the black one. The black one is... I mean, the black one is just unreal. This is just unreal. We're not as good as this, but... Alright. Orochi Merge Keeper. 2 mana, 1/1, add a green. As long as it's modified, it instead adds 2 green. Well, not instead. I guess you can add 1 green if you wanted. I don't know about this. Didn't they print this card before? I don't know. This doesn't seem very good. This seems worse than the enchantment. Yeah. Like, the enchantment seems terrible. Where was the enchantment at? This thing? I mean, I don't think this card's very good. And this is not an enchantment. I don't know. That doesn't seem very good to me. You don't really want to enchant your like mana creature. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1 counter on entire creature or vehicle. So it's a landfall counter on something? Okay. Channel. Put X +1 counters on target land you control. It becomes a 0/0 green creature with haste. That's still a land. This card seems great. It's like 2 mana, 4 counters, or a 6 mana 4/4. Yeah. You just sack a land for it, I guess. Or a 5 mana, like, untapped 3/3 that you can, like, block something with. Oh, it's like a creature you can get back with your, Season of Renewal, too, if you channel it. It's, like, good early and good late, right? Well, Adrenaline, it gives you the option, and it has Flash, and it's not an enchantment. And, like, being able to flash a blocker out can be really good. And you can pick it up with your things that trigger up graveyard stuff. Or what you can do is you can play this on turn 2, use it for like 4 turns, and then pick it up with your Geothermal Kami, and then get a creature out of it. No, it seems pretty good. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each of X target creatures and or planeswalkers. So basically what you want is you want to use this with your Death Toucher to, like, it's just kill X creatures. Yeah, it's not divided. It seems like this is 6 mana kill 2 creatures, right? It doesn't seem that hard for this to be 6 mana kill 2 creatures in green. That's a pretty good, like, baseline for this. It's like 4 mana kill 1 creature, 9 mana kill 2 creatures. Or 6 mana kill 2 creatures. 4 mana kill 1, 6 mana kill 2, 8 mana kill 3. That seems like a 9 to me. Just Bonfire, right? Well, it's not a fight spell, it's a punch spell, right? I mean, you can just play around it. It doesn't use last known info. If the creature goes away, then nothing happens. Well, you don't just have to have a Death Touch creature. I mean, they have a freaking 5/5 common. And they have a 5/5 common and like a 4/4 common that you're going to be playing with. The thing is with Spinning Wheel Kick, you're generally pretty safe casting this because if they could kill your giant creature, they would have done it already. Yeah, Vladimir, I mean, yeah, I get it. They can kill your creature in response. But again, if you have a giant creature you're going to use this on, why didn't they kill it already? Alright. Story Weave. Choose 1. Put 2 counters on target creature you control. Okay. Put 2 lore counters on target saga you control. The next time one or more enchantment creatures enter the battlefield under your control this turn, enters with 2 additional counters on it. Alright, so the joke here is, let's say you play this, right? And it has 1 lore counter on it. You do this, you get a counter immediately, and then it exiles itself, and it comes back, and it's a 7/7. Because it's an enchantment creature that comes into play. This card seems bad. This seems really bad. Let me tell you something. There's this thing. This card is wildly unplayable. Feral Invocation is wildly unplayable. And that's what this is. You might be able to jump out and ambush somebody if you have like a saga in play that has like, it's basically going to be on step 2 of a saga and your opponent like attacks into you. Maybe. That seems like a pretty tall order. That's a pretty tall order. I don't think this card's good. Feral Invocation is never the nuts. Feral Invocation is a wildly unplayable card in every format. Sorry to enlighten you. But Lothwin, how do you have enough mana to like cast a saga and this on the same turn? The odds are it's going to be on a 2-cost saga, on a step 2 of a saga. That requires you to have 7 or 8 mana in play. And meanwhile, this Story Weave just like rotted in your hand the rest of the game. I don't want anything to do with it. Web Spinner Cuff. Tuna Green Reach. A creature gets +1/+4 and has reach. Reconfigure 4. Oh, this reminds me of the bow, which had one of the highest win rates, right? Well, there was Elven Bow, right? Yeah, Elven Bow was insane. And that's what this is? Right? Elven Bow was insane. I mean, I guess it doesn't make a token, but because it is the token? Maybe is it better than Bow? I'm not sure it is. It's close. This card is really good, though. Yeah, I think it's good. I guess it's better than maybe Bamboo Grove Archer is a 6 and this is a 7. Create 2 4/5 green spirit creature tokens. For each of them, put your choice of Vigilance, Reach, or Trample. Sure. I mean, when you have Grafted Growth, these things are trivial to cast. Put this on a swamp. You put this on non-forest land mostly. Sure. Trample, 2/2 trample. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a counter on this. Sure. Beginning of each end step, if an enchantment was put into your graveyard from the battlefield this turn, you may return Comedy of Transients from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so the joke is you play it, you trade it off, and then an enchantment dies at some point on your turn before your end step, and then you just get it back from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. I mean, the card's really good. You're gonna play it every time. It's like a 2-mana 3/3 trample, 2-mana 4/4 trample. That also comes back later. Oh, it's each. You're right. It is each end step, not just my end step. So if an enchantment creature dies in blocking on your opponent's turn, then you'll still get it back. Yeah, this card's really good. I don't. All right, I've talked about this before. This card's just so bad. It targets a creature. It has to cost less than X. It has to be an identical copy of that card. Holy hell. Off it. Oh, by the way, in case you weren't done reading, the very end, by the way, put it onto the battlefield tapped. By the way. By the way, if you thought you could use this to like maybe ambush something, no. No. That's no. Alright. 2-mana 1/3. 1 green, return this to your hand. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped, but the rest into your graveyard. That's yikes. Oh, wait. Then return X target non-legendary cards from your graveyard to your hand. Oh. It's also an enchantment to trigger enchantment matter stuff like a bunch of times. I'm kind of worried about the deck damage. But I guess you'll just like regrow. And wait. It doesn't exile itself on the channel. That's such a miss. Why isn't it X green or XX green exile Shigeki from your hand? What? So you just like get back a raised dead, you just go Infi. Alright. Alright. You get no. McWinsauce, like you just get back like a season of renewal, right? Like you just I'm saying you get back a raised dead. I said a raised dead. Come on. You just get back a raised dead. This card is really good. And you can block with it. It doesn't say during your turn, so it's like a free block. You block your opponent's creature before damage, you just return it to your hand. Yeah, what the hell? Alright. Springleaf Avenger, 5-mana 6/5. Wow, 5-mana 6/5. Wow. Ninjutsu 4. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. What? Yeah, okay. Yeah. And this can get back creatures that die in that combat, so. Yeah. It's a ninja that I can actually attack. I guess that's what happens when you're not a human. Non-human ninjas are where it's at. Teachings of the Kirin. Mill 3 cards and create a 1/1. Alright, for 2 mana. Put a counter on target creature in control. Oh! Alright, it's a 2/2 that mills 3. Nice. Iron Shell Beetle. How you doing? Exile the Saga, return, and okay. Oh, goodness. Whenever it's a 1/1, whenever it attacks, choose one. Exile a tarot card from a graveyard. When you do, create a 1/1 colorless. Okay. Exile a non-creature card. Put a counter on target creature you control. The problem I have with this, it's a cool card, don't get me wrong. It's a cool card. It's a pair of 2/2s for 2 mana. It doesn't have haste. Right? It doesn't have haste. So you play this on turn 2, you're attacking with it on turn 5? And it's a 1/1 when you attack with it. So, like, is your opponent just not gonna have anything to do with... Yeah. Can your opponent just not block this? I think this card is good. The baseline is 2/2 plus 1/1 for 2 mana. That's good. It's a 2... It's a modified creature. It's an enchantment creature. It's a mill 3. It's a 2/2 and a 1/1 for 2 mana. Like, it's above rate. Even if you never attack with the card, it's a 2/2 and a 1/1 for 2 mana. This seems pretty good to me. It's a really good 2-drop. Another random life gain card. It is a 6. I think it's closer to a 6. I think you're right. Look at that. Gain 2 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Exile one of them face down with a hatching counter on it. Okay. You do that twice. So you gain 4 life. You gain 4 life and exile 2 cards. Whenever this or a dragon you control dies, you may cast a creature spell from among cards you own in exile with hatching counters on them without paying its mana cost. And I think that ignores timing restrictions. It would have to. So you just, like, you can cast the creature in your opponent's end step. The odds are within 2 looks at the top 3, you're gonna hit at least 1 creature, right? That seems kind of whatever. But the egg. So I guess the egg doesn't have defender. I can just imagine you're just chilling and you just see this egg just rolling up on you, and then it's like, surprise, it's a Ninja Turtle. Like, think of all the messages you can send by attacking with an egg. Because if you ninjutsu with this, you get to, like, gain 4 more life, right? It's a lot of deck damage, I suppose, but... Yeah, egg jutsu. I mean, who's gonna block this, right? Isn't this basically unblockable? This is basically unblockable. But it doesn't have haste, so it's not gonna happen until turn 7. Or turn 6, right? Turn 6. The Saga cards that don't have haste is yikes. I don't know. I think this card's fine. I don't know if it's, like, amazing or anything. It seems fine. It gains 4 life, which is something. Can you imagine the egg? What if the egg was just, like, wielding somebody? Like, what it was, like, reconfigured. The egg was carrying a sword. If you have an egg just, like, with a sword in front of you, what are you gonna do? It has an energy blade. Just imagine an egg with a lightsaber coming after you. Weaver of Harmony. Other enchantment creatures you control get +1/+1. 1 green tap. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control from an enchantment source. We have a lot of those, right? So, wait. Whoa. Does this work on channel abilities? If I channel this, do I get 2 1/1s? No? I don't think it should, because it's an enchantment card. It's not an enchantment. I think enchantment cards are only enchantments when they're in play. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think it has to be an enchantment permanent. I don't think it does. But it does copy Saga triggers. So there's that. He's not an authority. Really? Because there was another card that did this, right? We were talking about this earlier with Tezzeret. where it says the first activated ability of an artifact you activate each turn costs 2 less to activate. We were wondering if you could channel this off it. I didn't think you could, but maybe it can. Look for a judge. Yeah. You'll have to ask. Look. You'll have to ask a judge about that one. It's something. It's certainly something to think about if you can copy enchantment triggers with that. But anyways, this card's really good. You can't off Tez and you can off the enchantment guy. That doesn't make any sense to me. That you can do this, but you can't do the other. You can't do Tezzeret with the crab, but you can with the other one. All right. It says it can, but not Tez. And plus, Tez gets completely screwed because if you crew, then it turns itself off. Which we didn't talk about on the card earlier. Because a crew is an artifact activated ability that you did first, right? So, Jugon defends the temple. Create a 1/1 human monk creature token with... Okay, 3 mana Lawnmower Elf. Put a counter up to each of the 2... Okay, 3 mana 2/2 Lawnmower Elf. Exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield, transform it under your control. Flying. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay X, or X... When you do, put X counters on... Oh, on that creature! And as long as you control 5 or more modified creatures, it's a 7/7 trample flying. Okay. Of course, if you're not familiar, it's a throwback to the OG. The OG Jugon the Rising Star, which when it died put 5 counters on things. Yeah, this card seems good. 3 mana 2/2 Lawnmower Elf that also makes a 2/2 flyer. That also has a bunch of random awesome text. I don't know, this is close to a 10. Because even if you kill it, you get like 2 counters. You get 2 counters, a Lawnmower Elf, and whatever counters that you have when doing this. I mean, this is close to a 10. It's also super cheap. It's also an enchantment that you can just like return to your hand from somewhere, anywhere. This might be a 10. Like, as far as winning the game on its own, it's pretty damn close to doing that. Because you can just like play a 2/2 and you like pay 3 to put 3 counters on it on turn 4 or whatever. Turn 5. Yeah, I mean, this... I'm gonna say this is probably a 10. Really good card. The fact that it costs 3 mana, I think, is a big part of it. And you can just pay 1 mana to put a counter on it to get enough modified cards for this. Yeah. Kodama of the West Tree. Reach. Modified creatures you control have trample. 3/3 reach. Then, whenever a modified creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and this card seems really good. Yeah, this card seems really good. It's pretty likely that the turn you play this, you're going to get a land off it. And it's for any basic, not just forests. And it basically has trample on its own because... Like, you just play Kodama, and then you play Jukai Preserver and put a counter on it. Right? And it's a 4/4 trample that puts a land into play. With reach, randomly. What's not to like about the card? I don't even... It also is a lord. It also gives all your other creatures trample if you wanted it. Kura, the Boundless Sky. 5 mana 4/4 flying Death Touch, I guess. When it dies, choose one. Search your library for up to 3 land cards. Wait, any 3 land cards. Reveal them and put in your land, even non-basic lands. That's crazy. And then create an XX green spirit creature token with X is the number of lands you control. So like 5/5 at the very least. When it dies, make a 6/6 or 7/7 or draw 3 lands. Nah, this is like a 9. It's pretty good. I think Jugan is better than this. Because the thing is, Kura does not pay rent. To be a 10, it needs to pay rent or be massively powerful, and this does not pay rent. It's an air elemental. Air elementals, this doesn't pay rent. This pays rent in multiple ways. Now, not only do you get the counters and the mana, but you also get to like pump every creature you play for the rest of the game. That's not what this is. Not even close to that. It's just a fellow. Yeah, it's not a Broodmate Dragon. Like, I don't even think it's a 9. I think it's just an 8. I think it's just this is just an air elemental that your opponent doesn't want to kill. I think the red one's better than this. This one? I think this one's better. Like, costing... I mean, this is probably it. Costing 4 is so much less than 5. And this is... I mean, this is essentially the same thing. Like, when this dies, put target non-dragon creature from any graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's basically the same thing as making XX. I like this one more. Return up to 2 instant or sorcery cards. I'd rather do that. I mean, this also puts, you know... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the green one looks like the worst of the bunch. It not having 5 power on its own is a big problem for it costing 5 mana. The Ghost of Jugan is better than the new dragon. But yeah. So that's green. Green looks really good. Green looks really good. It has a lot of synergy going on with enchantments. I have a feeling this enchantment creature is going to be really good. I have a feeling that Tales of Master Sashiro is going to be really good. I have a feeling that Seasons of Renewal is going to be really good. And I have a feeling that Grafted Growth is going to be really good. Bamboo Grove Archer is probably going to be really important. I like green. This is probably the bonfire of the set. If it didn't require you to have a creature, it would be a 10, obviously. As much as people in the chat are be like, they just 1 for 2 yourself, they killed the creature in response. It's not going to happen, my friend. You can play around cards like that. It's not hard. Have faith in yourself. Play Tamio's Safekeeping if you care so much. But this black card looks very suspicious. This one. This is very suspicious. I don't know about this one. It's the same card. It's different. It's different because it's green. Well, green needs the effect more. And also has like multi-kicker. Higher highs. Same lows, but higher highs. Like, you're willing to play this for the higher highs, but I don't know if you're willing to play this. I think this can backfire a lot, and you should probably just fire this off whenever you can. Alright, well that's going to be green.